Hi there, everyone, and welcome to Gamerside. It's Drifford speaking for yet another review. This time I'm focusing on Season A Letter to the Future, which is coming on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC in a few days. Season A Letter to the Future is what you might call an adventure game, or some of you might consider it as a walking simulator, although I would say it's maybe more of a riding simulator, as you will ride a bicycle. In the game, you play as Estelle, who's a young woman who's about to leave her village in the mountains for the very first time. No one has left the village because something is happening in the world in the season, which corresponds to an era, if you will. And in this world, as there's this threat, this disease that can touch people, in Estelle's village, everyone has stayed there to be safe. But she's about to leave, and she's packing, and she's about to leave her mother, who's raised her alone ever since Estelle's father died when she was much younger. And, she has to decide what memories she will take with them, as some of the objects she will choose in her house will allow her to make a talisman which should protect her from the dangers of the world. So it's a world that may look very familiar in a way, but it's a very different world from ours. So we discover it with Estelle, as she's never seen anything outside of the village. And it's a very peaceful, although in a way a bit sad atmosphere overall. There's nostalgia too, and it's quite interesting, I have to say. So before Estelle leaves her village to discover the world and record the season, which is about to end, a season being the end of an era in this world, she's basically told, and we are told rather, how the game is going to work and unfold. Basically, you collect a certain number of things, you take pictures, and you record sounds, and then you have to create your own travel book, a sort of memory book in which you can select the different things you will unlock by interacting with the environment, finding objects, talking to people, or just, like I said, taking pictures or recording things, sounds, ambient sounds. And it's something that probably not everyone will enjoy, as you can actually skip these sequences really fast if you don't want to get into them too much. But I really enjoy taking my time to basically personalize each of the pages I had to complete. It just takes a few elements to really complete the page, or the double page in this case, and sometimes you have a bit less freedom, as you have certain elements you have to find, like you have to take a certain picture and record a certain sound. But most of the pages you can just do whatever you want, and then you unlock other things. And once the page is validated, so to speak, you can basically add new things, because you unlock stickers, you unlock drawings and things like that. And I really, really had a great time taking that time to craft my own travel book. And it actually brought me back to the time when my wife would do that, when it was just the two of us on vacation far away in the world, in Peru and Canada. And it was for me, it was that type of nostalgia that I felt, even though it was a world that was really unknown to me. And rest of the gameplay is basically you traveling by bike or on foot, enjoying these beautiful vistas like here. And I have to say, although yes, technically you don't get to do many things, interactions are pretty simple. You pick up objects, you can read some of them, you can listen to others, you can make sketches like here, but there's nothing interactive really. You just basically sit, and then you have this very nice drawing which appears because of the view that you're actually drawing. And I think it works very well, but it's a very slow pace, which I'm not sure everyone will enjoy as much as I did. and the discovery of this empty world, for the most part, is also quite, I would say, appealing, at least to me. Once you get to the valley, which is the main area where it is a big open space where you have a bit more freedom in terms of exploration, you'll be able to meet people and to talk to them and learn about their story, learn about the place itself, the valley, and the different customs and their past, and I found it interesting. But before that, you have a bunch of, let's say, more linear areas like this one, where you can just take your time, and obviously you don't have to do it. You can basically speed through each of them and don't really bother with the travel book, but that's not the point of the game, is it? So it's really a game that makes you want to take your time and contemplate, and that's the point of the whole thing. Season A Letter to the Future is running on Unreal Engine 4, and usually that can be good news or bad news. So the good news is, from what I've seen, there is no problem with the shader compilation this time. Although, sadly, it doesn't mean that everything goes very smoothly throughout the experience. Let me explain. In more linear areas like this one, the areas that will take you to the valley, and the one that will take you to the conclusion of the game, everything is smooth, 60 FPS on PC. Haven't seen the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 version, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I hope they're fine. I never tried the demo on PlayStation 5 either, so depending on how it played, and I think it played okay because it was a linear area as far as I remember, as it was the same as on PC. But when you reach the valley, then you have more slowdowns, or at least I had more slowdowns. Maybe it was because it was an early copy of the game. Not sure if any patch is planned, but I haven't seen any since I got the game about maybe 2 weeks ago now. And the thing is, it's not really game breaking or anything, but you will definitely notice slowdowns and frame drops in some areas, and I don't think it's a shader compilation problem, as when you go back to those places in the Valley Hub, let's call it this way, you still have the same slowdowns. Didn't feel like that lowering the resolution or adjusting the graphics settings made a big difference on my part. Now you might know that my 2080 Ti is a bit weak in the knees. It's a bit tired because of the thermal paste, which is completely wasted, I would say. But other than that, the experience was smooth, and it didn't deter me from the rest of the enjoyment. So thank God for that. But yeah, I wouldn't have minded if everything had been smooth from beginning to end. But it's really mostly in the valley, which is probably where you'll spend most of your time. But it's not everywhere, and it's not all the time. So at the end of the day, it's pretty fine. And because the game looks so great, the cutscenes, obviously, they do, but gameplay too, you're going to see beautiful landscapes, different times of day, and actually nighttime. Looks like it's nighttime for once, so it's a nice welcome change. And just riding your bike, discovering this dam, for example, and other places, because the weather is going to change too. There's a bit of rain, there's sun, there's a sunset. It's a really beautiful game. I also like the animation. It's not perfect. Like when you take the bike, there's no real animation. When you see Estelle, suddenly she has the bike in her hands. And sometimes it feels like she's slipping more than she's walking. But overall, I like the animation because they brought me back to the feeling I had when I discovered Prince of Persia back in the 90s, and also The Last Express, two games by Jordan Mechner. And I don't know, it's the visual style combined with the animations. It's really, really a beautiful, beautiful game, and that's something I believe everyone will be able to enjoy. And I hope they can fix some of the frame rate issues that I've seen, because, you know, we could do without them. Well, Season A Letter to the Future may not be perfect, technically speaking, and it's probably not for everyone because of its slow pace, but it has that type of, let's say, feel and this approach to gameplay and storytelling that can actually draw people's attention, especially people like me who don't mind taking their time, because it's really a game where you have to enjoy that, to take your time, to look at the landscapes, to just actually feel the atmosphere. And I really enjoyed this journey that I took. I was moved by by basically all the stories I was told, the characters I met. And yeah, at the end of the game, I was left a bit like I was when I played Firewatch back in the days. I mean, there are different games in the way stories basically delivered. I mean, there's a lot more narration in Firewatch, but in a way they're a bit similar to me. And I was really, really happy to be able to play this, and I think it's a beautiful game, and that it's definitely, when I look back, I remember a letter I was really happy I was able to read. So I hope you like it too, guys. Bye for now.